Yes.
And
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in with us Friday, 8 o'clock, every Friday sharp. I know you guys got a million other things to be doing, but I'm thankful you're here with us tonight. Tonight we got a very special speaker, Rhianah Zephier. Before we get started here, I just wanted to ask you, those viewers and those of us who are here, for a silent prayer for those who are suffering in silence, please. All right, thank you for that. Wanted to make a couple quick announcements because sometimes I forget them. So first of all, huge shout out to the Lighthouse and Scott Aldrink for always allowing us to do our shows here and host our NA meetings in church and all the services that he does provide. There are actually quite a few of them, men's group and different things. So shout out to the Lighthouse. And Chunkutecha also has NA meetings Monday at 2 o'clock when we do provide rides on Thursday nights and also Mondays NA meetings. So get a hold of me or call Chunkutecha and we can get you on the ride list. And Tuesday nights there is a NEPI at Chunkutecha. Those are ran by Alan Hare. And yeah, so Thursday would be the NA prayer group here at Lighthouse. And then Friday we have our show, and any one of you are welcome to come in and be my speaker. Just kidding. Not only that, but you can come in and be a live audience here. We do have chairs for those who want to come in and support, or if we have family or friends who just want it. It's always good to have support. And so we got chairs for you, even if you want to come do that. So tonight we got Rhianah, and I'm just excited to hear her story. So I just want to thank her up front first for coming on here, because it's kind of tough. You know, it's like, it's kind of tough. It's not easy. So I just want to appreciate her for her story and willing to share. All right. And I'll just turn it over to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rhianah Zephier, and I want to say I started doing meth at 27 years old is when I started doing meth. And, I was going through a hard time in life and, drinking a lot. And pretty soon, I was like the last one of my friends to like hold out on doing meth. Everybody was doing it and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it,
Right.
One time I got pretty drunk, I was pretty drunk and they got me, they were like, you want to try some? We got some, go ahead, try it, and I was the only one sitting there drunk. Everybody else was high. So
they were all sober.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I might as well then.
Right.
And then that's all it took.
Mm-hmm.
That one time, that's all it took. And I was hooked after that, wanted it all the time. And, my job, I wasn't doing good with my job, my kids. Yeah, so it started taking me to places where I never thought
where you would put yourself.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Hiding from cops and, doing runs.
Oh my goodness.
Stuff like that, that. So, yeah, I was in the midst of doing that, still drinking, and still trying to work. And eventually I did lose my job, though.
Yeah. It took your job from you.
Yeah. And then I, lost some, people that were very important to me too. And that kind of, made me want to do it even more,
Right.
And,
kept you using.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I know I hurt my children in the process of doing all that too,
Yes.
That's the hardest part for me, as my children. The hurt and the pain that they had to go through growing up,
Right.
because of my addictions. Um, I didn't think I was gonna cry.
It's okay, man. I'm
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
But it's just seeing everybody else doing it, and you think it's cool that you have to do it just because everybody else is doing it.
Right.
So that was kind of what made me start doing it. But
Just to kind of fit in with the crowd first, right?
yes. But I was into it, and just my life just started going downhill, and pretty soon I really had nothing.
Mhm.
I really didn't have nothing.
Nothing to
And
show for it. It done took everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I don't know. I just pretty soon I just start getting tired of it. I was like,
So how many
start.
years of use? I'm sorry. How many years of use?
I think I did it for maybe about, I want to say 4 years. 4 years.
Here's some water for you so you don't. About 4 years of use. Yeah.
4 years of use, and then it started getting bad to where I start, hearing things and seeing things, thinking things that weren't,
Right.
weren't.
The paranoia,
Yes.
the fear.
The
All of a sudden you just
fear.
get engulfed in all this fear. And
Yes.
all of a sudden everything around you comes alive. Ugh.
Yes.
Ugliest moments ever.
Fear to even just to go to sleep,
Yeah.
just all kinds of.
It wasn't that you were missing out. It was just terrified.
Yes.
Terrified to even.
Yes.
And to think even at those points, like we knew how scary it was. We knew what was coming and we still got high.
Yes.
We still danced with the devil.
Yes. I kept telling myself, no more, I'm not going to do it. And here I was doing it again, finding myself in the same boat, just and miserable, scared, miserable, all of it. And it took me a while. To stop doing it. And I just remember praying, just praying so hard, dear Lord, just help me to stop doing this, because it's just a repeated cycle over and over again, and I want out. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of myself, And so, I just remember praying and praying and praying, and I would pray myself to sleep and cry, And finally, one time I quit. There was no urges, and
Oh, you just.
I was just
Do you
finally
remember what
done
day?
with it. I was just fed up. You know what? I don't know what
Oh, okay.
day, but it's got to be at least 16 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like you. I
And
can do a roundabout, and if I
yeah.
really wanted to find that day, I probably could, but I just do a roundabout because it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. So I finally had enough, and I give God the glory for that, because I know
all
it
the
was
glory.
Him, who stepped in and, helped me through all of that. Because otherwise, if I didn't have Him, I don't,
I know. Could you imagine
who
us this many
knows?
years later?
Yeah, I would probably still be lost out there. Just,
Yes.
so
Thank goodness for the goodness of God. Right?
yes.
So what about alcohol? How did alcohol? I mean, you say that you started alcohol and then went towards meth, but then so did alcohol have a part to play after meth, or was it
Yes.
still involved?
Yes. Yeah. And so I continued drinking. I drank like every weekend, sometimes during the week, I would drink, and my kids would be with my family like most of the time, and I would be hungover and having to take care of them, send them to school, and everything. That's one thing I want to get into because us as Native Americans, we're used to enabling each other.
Right.
But, my family, they kept my kids knowing the
What you
stuff
were
that I
doing.
was doing, and not, I don't think they really held me are accountable,
Right.
for the stuff that I was doing. And, well, she's going through a hard time, let's let her do
Right.
this or do
Let's
that,
just take the kids and let her
Yeah.
get through it. But then they
Yeah.
were probably just in hopes that you were going to break through that moment as you were just idling right through it
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Well, we do. We enable one another.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that's one thing I want to talk about is enabling. And we really need to step in. I mean, we can't save our family members. We can't make them do anything that they don't want to.
Right.
But
As sad as that is, but we
yes.
truly can't. Like
Yes.
it's so heartbreaking. And I know a lot of a lot of our viewers out there, we all know, we just wish we could just snap a finger
Mhm.
or just make one call to the cops and they'll snap out of it. Sometimes I wish there
Mhm.
were like an EpiPen where you can just and like bring them back.
Yeah.
Like stop it.
Yeah.
As funny as that is
Every
to
time.
say, yeah, it's just like snap out of it, come back. But I mean that's just a joke, but it is very sad to give our family the cold shoulder. Like sometimes we
Yes.
have to just be like and just pray. I mean, as hard as we prayed for ourselves to crawl out of that
Mhm.
hole, I pray nonstop since I found Lord in December. I've prayed nonstop for
Yes.
the darkness that our friends and families are sitting in.
Yes.
But
Yep.
yeah, so I hear you on that, like just praying for people or not enabling them.
Yeah. And it's okay, some people they'll say, "Oh, well, you used to do it before, because you're advocating against it now." But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
God changes people.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. He changes people, and that gives you a right to advocate it
Right.
against it. So yeah. So I wanted to touch down on that, on enabling and helping them do things that they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And it's hard to kind of give them the cold shoulder, like you said. It's really hard.
Kind of that tough love.
Yeah.
So, in your sobriety, how has your relationship with your children been versus Rhianah that used and then to Rhianah being sober? What is your bond?
It is so much better. Yeah, my kids are they're happy. They're glad to see me like this. They tell me that too.
And you've been sober for 16 years?
Off of meth, but alcohol, I'm just short a few months of 5 years on alcohol. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 5 years.
What's gonna happen? I need one of those buttons right here.
I got you.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you. But yes, it's just beautiful, right? Our children, and to think the love that they have for us is just unconditional and that
Yes.
they are truly our true heroes. So if any of our children,
Yes.
I have one over here too. Any of our children are listening, I mean,
Yep.
we do this for you guys, and
Mhm.
it's just awesome.
Yes, and that was that was my main reason to get sober was them.
Right.
And just
In the
tired of it
beginning?
all. Yeah.
Then when did you shift it to where you realized that you needed to do it for you? Did you feel that shift? Did you know all of a sudden where it was like, or did you ever fail? So like, have you been like, okay, for my kids, I'm gonna quit, but then relapsed and relapsed and relapsed?
Yes.
Because yeah.
Yes. Alcohol was harder than meth for me to quit.
Mm.
I struggled with that, just every time, just having a hard
And
time
then
and seeing
oh,
having FOMO and all that stuff too, and
Yeah.
thinking I had to do this and do that and be with these people and those people. And after a while, you realize those ain't even your friends.
You're right.
You know, they
And then
weren't your
the
friends.
codependency and all of that stuff.
Yes,
Where we
yes.
literally, with addiction and substance, we literally surrounded ourselves around people that just was like it. After you sober up, it was just like, man, what was I doing?
Yes.
Because in
Yeah.
your normal, you just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love these people, and I know that they're still in addiction too. They're
Right.
still, and it's not, really them,
Mm-mm.
So
They're fighting.
Can I ask you guys, both of you guys, a question? So, like, you said that you struggled with alcohol, right? But you were able to break meth. How do you like? A lot of times you hear people like they just have to go cold turkey from everything. How do you manage like then falling into another addiction? Like, is do you just like sit there in the drive that you had for meth at that time? Is it like now you're kind of numbing it then with alcohol? Is it things like that? I don't know. I don't know, Zena. I know I've heard your story multiple times now, but I don't know if it was similar with you. Is that kind of what it is? And for our people that are listening who might be struggling
Right.
with addiction, do you think it's smart like to just go cold turkey like 100%? Obviously it would be. You don't want to fall into a different
Yeah,
addiction,
but
but
if it's actually something an addict is capable of doing is what yeah. For me, and we can both answer this, but for myself, I had to quit everything. I cannot handle a bottle of beer. And I know myself, I know that one is too many for me. And I know where I'll end up. And I can't take that chance. I've relapsed way too many times. As we all know in our reading materials, we cannot confuse alcohol because it's just as trapping as meth, and I always wondered that myself. So that's actually a really good question because I tried to drink a little bit. I tried to just think like, oh, well, then I can still do this, but then turns out I can't handle anything anymore. And that's a good thing. I just, one beer is too much for me. And I was never a beer drinker anyway. I was straight liquor. So I know for sure that would just knock the doors right off. So I had to cold turkey. I really had to cold turkey. I couldn't put one in place of the other. And I was kind of interested on yours, like how drinking was harder, but yet you were able with meth and then go to alcohol as well. So have you relapsed, or if you can answer Derek's question, and then have you relapsed many times from like being drunk and then sobering up?
Yeah, I did. I would start by going like a month sober and then a couple months sober and fall off until um I just had it. I was just done with it. But I moved to Vermilion and I started going to church at Livingstone Apostolic Church. And wow, I got the Holy Ghost and it just changed my life. There was no going back after that. I didn't even want to touch alcohol. I didn't even want to go around alcohol.
Right.
But I'm glad I was in Vermilion at the time, away from my family, anybody that can enable me, and
Right.
away from, friends that I had that were down
Right.
here. And
So you had to isolate. The isolation of
Yes.
yourself really helped, right?
Yes, I had
Yeah.
to.
It's almost
be
like a
home.
key factor. So if those of you who are taking notes out there, find a sober
Mhm.
place or find a complete different atmosphere.
Yes. So that's what helped me, not having that around. It helped me to be able to just stay home and heal and work on myself, so that I can
Right.
become a better person for my children. It's
Right.
always my goal. They were always my inspiration,
Right.
So but yeah, I'm really thankful for Pastor Harold Marshall for
Mhm.
helping me, counseling me through those hard times,
And always willing, always
Yes.
able and willing.
hmm
Just the kindest compassion. Like it just, I just seen, I believe it's Brother David Marshall at Casey's when I got my coffee. And it was just, I was like, hi. I just ran up to him like he was a celebrity.
Yeah.
I miss.
Yeah.
It was fun.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so much
So
fun.
that's what helped me was, the church and staying home and, being by myself and just really healing and, and my kids seeing my transformation, and I know they were just loving it because now, before I couldn't say to people, I love you, I couldn't even say that,
Mhm.
and now I can tell my kids, I love you.
Right.
And I can tell others, I love you, without, having
Feeling
a
some
hard,
type of,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I just am so thankful for, Jesus for stepping in, in my life because I would not have been able to do it. There's just no way,
Mm-mm.
no way, no way. So, and my relationship with my kids is just so much better. They love me now. Everything is just, you know, um, hugs and they call me too when they're going,
Right.
through a hard time because they're struggling too,
Right.
um, with addictions and stuff too,
Yeah.
So
And
and
that's so cool that they have you to call on now because I know that if we were in our addictions, we wouldn't be able to help our kids. We
mhm,
wouldn't take their calls because we just automatically ditched out from everybody. If you weren't a friend of ours getting high, we didn't answer your phone calls. And that's the truth.
mhm,
And so I'm so thankful. I look at there's moments, so many proud moments I have with my children that I never had that I dreamt of. Like seriously, like, and
mhm,
I'm just slaying goals left and right every single day. I'm just so grateful that God has given me a second chance to love myself the way he does, and it just like, and I see it with you. And I just,
mhm.
the NA unity, like with Leon and Kim and even Curtis. I probably shouldn't be saying names, but I know that they wouldn't mind, and I know that they're very proud, and they are all recovery warriors. And so the unity of recovery warriors is just it's so beautiful to see the light that God can put the light back in anybody, And so if there's anybody out there watching that, just maybe you watch for inspiration, or maybe you think I'm funny. Just kidding. But or maybe, and some of them most people there's a lot of shame, and the difference between us sitting here and you watching wherever you're watching from is I'm no longer ashamed of my shame. Like I can put anything out here, and I'm sure, a lot of my fellow warriors, recovery warriors, feel the same thing, that I'm just not embarrassed of it anymore. Like I'm gonna use all of my experiences, not just some of them, because I've been through quite a quite a few, like, different things, and I just feel like I have so much knowledgeable experience that I don't ever hear anybody really talk about how they feel or how they got through, and so I always just try to, like, put it out there for somebody else. And when you actually can see another person light up because you're expressing
Yes.
yourself or your experience, which is probably going on right now. Ding ding. Just kidding. But that's the purpose of these shows, is to help you feel comfortable, like where you can come. And and it's okay. It's okay to be free. Like seriously, the freedom that you get from sobriety is just unreal.
Yes.
Like, it's truly the best love you can ever have. So, yeah. I don't know how I stole the show there, but I'm gonna give it back to you.
Well, we have just a couple comments here. Charles Holiday said, and it's funny that you said that kind of ding 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 going on, and it is because he commented watching from Sioux Falls, 4 months sober from drugs and alcohol today. So
Very proud of you, Charles.
yeah, and you guys just have a lot of people just saying congratulations. And we had Tracy Zephier said, she said, proud of you girls, taking your power back. Thank you for sharing your story and reaching out with all this information. Love you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Auntie. Love you.
Yeah. And then we have just some amazing people that are joining in, watching, and being part of the conversation. So
So awesome, guys.
A lot of wonderful people on here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you guys can share, if you share the feed, one of your friends could use it, or somebody may need it, because it's not always just about NA. It's about AA, it's about grief, it's about any type of support. I mean, a lot of us is actually affected in so many ways that we really do rely on each other, like a lot, like weekly. I make calls, daily calls sometimes because I'm losing my mind, but it's a lot easier. Life is easier sober. I mean, it's
Yes.
manageable. I cry. I have bad days. I get, I feel defeated, but I kick back. I won't fold, and I remember talking in one of my NAs one time, and it just felt so real, and it was perfect. We're like, every day, well, not every day, but like some days when they're really, really bad, and you're just like, you're crawling to this peak, like you're getting to the top there, and it's like you just want to break, and you're right at that point where it's either break or break through, and you're just right at that. And I think about that every day, like, can I get past this, and you truly can with a prayer, like
Yes.
with your strength. We all have strength in there, so it's beautiful. And I really do like what that's one of my key factors is using all the pain that we went through, whether that's trauma or whatever it may be, the pain that we have, and it all has purpose. And so for us to sit here
Yes.
today and to be able to share that and be open with it and be okay with it. First of all, we got to be okay with it. So there are places for that as well. I mean, if any of you ever need help with counseling or trying to find something, one of us will help you.
Yes.
Because mental health, it is very, I know a lot of people run from it, or, they think that they're crazy. Well, I'm crazier. Just kidding. I'm crazy too. And we all are. We're all like a little bit of crazy. So like, just call us. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
But and it's so
Yeah.
important. Mental health is so, so important. And it's awesome when you can start breaking those chains and feeling free and being a whole.
Yes.
Just a wholesome, right?
Yes, because I used to have anxiety so bad after meth, scared I kept
When it got
myself
dark,
locked up.
yeah.
Yes. I didn't want to go out
Curtains
anywhere.
up.
I didn't even want to go to the grocery store and go shopping for groceries. That's how bad my anxiety was.
Wow.
Yes. And reading the Bible and going to church and all that is what really broke through with all that anxiety. Pretty soon I was slowly able to start going out in society and start having real conversations with people, because I would shy off and back away,
Right.
That was all the meth that did that to me, And
Gosh, yeah.
I
How
was
many
so-
things I mean, if you look at that using how much it took from you, it didn't just take,
Yes.
gosh, it took so many things. I mean, there's just so many, your mind, I mean, your thoughts, your teeth,
Yes.
your skin, your hair,
Yes.
but what it does on the inside is like, it takes your confidence,
Yeah.
it takes your self-esteem.
Mm.
I mean, it just rips everything from you, let alone materialistic things like, what I know that Leon has shared many times is where he, literally he was just in his house with a mattress, that is true. Like that's very true. It's taken that
Mhm.
from us, and it's just how much it does. And yet we would go right back.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Did you have God in your life, in your heart, before you had drugs and alcohol? Like, were you Christian?
Yeah. My grandma, she had me go to church with her every Sunday, when I stayed with her, because I would be like off and on with my grandma and with my parents, and my parents lived in different places, but when I stayed with my grandma, she would have me go to church every Sunday. And even though I didn't like it sometimes, even though I didn't want to go, she made me go. And
Mhm.
now I am very thankful for her
Right.
for that, because I mean, there's probably people out there that don't know how to pray or
Mhm.
don't know, don't even know how to turn to God.
Right.
They've probably never went to church, maybe, or,
Yeah.
so they don't really know.
Right.
So, and it's really important that we spread the word of God also.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I know I had to
Yes.
ask people. I was 38 years old and I had to ask people how you go to church. Like, how do you go to church? I didn't know
Yeah.
how to attend a church. I didn't know if you could go to any old church. I was like, had all these questions. Everybody just kind of looked at me like it was, but I mean, even that, don't let that, the lack of knowledge and think that people are going to make fun of you, or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Don't let that take over your life because it will. Like if you allow that to happen, it will happen. Like if you're just so embarrassed to not know something, or it's so much better. Like knowledge really is power.
Mhm.
And so like, because I was always like that, I always felt like, oh, I'm too cool to ask a question, right? I'm just, and really you're not. Like you just so
Yeah.
even that asking one of those questions about church, I'm so thankful.
Mhm. And Pastor Scott here,
Oh,
he is so awesome too.
yes.
He
Yes.
will help you too, if you're struggling, he's
He'll always take the
yes.
time. Even
Yes.
I've seen that with him and Nick and Derek. Well, I've seen it with all of us. I mean,
Yes.
it's just the moment. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
where somebody takes the time and
We're all part of the body because I sit here.
Yes.
I know Scott and I would both say, and any of our leader would say, you, Zena, Leon, Kim, Rhianah, we're all part of this body that, just gives so much hope because it's
yes,
ultimately, that we're pointing the people to Jesus, and it's a beautiful thing.
it is.
Yes.
It even feels beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
it
Yes.
really
come up here
does.
and sit by me and
And
feel
Yes.
this.
And it's just so
Can be
powerful.
my next speaker.
Mhm.
It is,
Yeah.
like Leon was saying last night, man, this is powerful, when we were having NA.
Mhm.
And I was like, I just, wish people knew,
The beauty in it, right?
Yes.
I really want to
yes.
encourage those of you viewers who are at home and think that you don't belong here. You do.
Yes.
You are the one
Yes.
that is needed here. And I know that I have some friends that are like, oh, I can't go to the show, or I'm not going to go to a meeting. And I know that they probably watch this in their basement. Like, you belong here next to me, next to us. And like watching this through this lens is just a little bit of taste, a little bit of beautification that this all brings, like the light, sobriety, God,
Yes.
just being sober. And it's, if you give yourself a chance, I promise you will not regret it. Like,
Yes.
even if you want to start slow, send a message, send a call out. Leon, myself, there's numerous of us that are here that would, whoever you feel comfortable with. It just takes that comfortability that you have. You just got to break through that. I'm like, I forgot it. I'm sorry. But whoever you feel comfortable with, and it just starts right there. Like
Yeah.
you just start building trust, everything that you think that you have been without, confidence and trusting somebody and all this stuff, like talking to somebody. Everything is confidential. The only things that we do really share is, of course, the love of God, and then just things that we tell each other and supporting one another. And
Yes.
I know that you won't regret it at all, so on all of these are really for you guys out there
Yes.
watching, so
We have some comments for you ladies. Destiny Holiday. Oh, she was congratulating her brother on proud of him for his sobriety.
yes.
And then Faith actually commented and she said, proud of you and your commitment to the Braveheart Kunchi Farmer Circle. And she said the earth is an amazing healer and she's excited to see you at the next learning circle. And then Geraldine Provost said, so very amazing. I'm proud of you both and all that are in recovery. And then Melissa said, so proud of you both. Very strong and God is great. So
Amen.
you guys are
Yes.
encouraging a lot of people.
Yes. Good. Hallelujah.
Yes. There we go. Raise your
Yeah.
hand. Don't get me started. Play my
Yeah.
song. Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
To those of you that are struggling out there, just know that we are here you are loved. You are
Right.
very loved. And just come, let us help you. You know, we want to help you. You know, don't be shy. Don't worry about it. You know, come as you are.
Hmm.
You know,
Please don't
even
put us on a pedestal because
yes,
we struggle too.
yes,
You're
yes.
struggling, we struggle too.
Mhm.
It's just we're just sober. Our mind is clear and we're more than
Yes.
happy to help anybody.
Yes.
I make house calls.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll
I
pull
will
up on
too.
you if you're acting up. No, sobriety really is awesome.
Yeah.
I wish all my family, my friends to just have a free smile on their face and
Yes.
find God,
Mhm.
honestly. And I know people, when I was using, I didn't have God until just in December, like fully. I knew of him, but I didn't think I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't even know what his love was like, honestly. I did not know. I didn't think I was worthy and I just thought he was somebody. I mean, I guess if you metaphorically if I was at a concert and he would be way up there on stage, and I'm just like a peon clear in the back corner, very strung out or something, like that's me. That's how I felt all the time about God. I just thought that he couldn't even see me because I was so far away. But he made it very clear to me that he loved me, thankfully. And I know it's so cliche that every addict talks about God and turns to the Bible, but that is your saving. That is your
Mhm.
savior. And you do need that spiritual awakening. We all know that,
Mhm.
and even in our Native American ways, it all leads to God. He is the Almighty, so
Yes.
and I'm not gonna preach, I'm not gonna push that on anybody, but, it's not, I first we gotta start with ourselves, NA and healing. All of this is healing. Every single thing that we do, everything that we share, everything we talk about, it's a healing in some way, and so it's just I don't know. I'm just so thankful. I'm glad that I didn't listen to that part of me where it's like, I don't wanna be that Bible thumper. I remember saying that. I remember telling Leon that one time. I remember that, Leon? And now I can't even stop. I can't even stop
Yes.
about God. I give God all the praise, and it's an amazing, beautiful journey when you can truly love yourself.
Yes.
Out there chasing that bag, chasing that mess, trying to hustle money. We're thinking that we're doing it for ourselves, that we love ourselves that much. That's hate. That's hatred. Like
Mm.
that's pretty much hate. I had a friend, I won't say no names, but um they had a little acronym for meth and it was more evil than hate. And soon as I heard him say that, and I was like, wow, it really is. Like it really is. I don't even let my kids say hate just because I don't know the depth of that. I don't even know what that's like. I don't want to be the type of person that even knows what hate is, seriously.
Mhm.
So I don't even let my kids say it, but I know when he gave that acronym for meth, that's how I felt. I was just like, it is pure wickedness.
Yes.
It is pure wickedness.
Yes. It is.
So,
Rian, I have a question for you. You know, now, have been sober, going on 5 years from alcohol, 16 from meth, how, what's the importance to you to, you know, everybody struggles. I don't care like how solid you are. You still struggle with those thoughts sometimes. I'll talk to, family members and stuff who have been sober, 15, 20 plus years. And they'll still say, there'll be times in my mind where I'm like, man, I'm stress is getting to me, life's getting to me, work's getting to me, my
Mhm.
finance, whatever it may be. And then they're like, I know I'm not going to alcohol. I know I'm not going to that stuff, but that stuff, it's still like the thoughts don't creep in there. What are things that have worked for you, to help eliminate those thoughts? And then also, you know, uh, how is it that, how important is it to you to keep your time occupied? And what do you do to keep your time occupied?
crucial, right?
Yes, it is. Well, okay, how can I answer this? I guess I don't really have, the longer you go, the less the
Mhm.
cravings and the urges to use.
Right.
It becomes a lot less. And I remember on New Year's, I was telling you guys on New Year's
Yeah.
this year, I had an urge,
I
and
did too this New Year's.
yes, and I was just drove by Doggers like twice, and it was just like, just go ahead and have one shot,
Mhm.
just one shot. It ain't gonna hurt, and I was
Boy,
like,
he was
nope,
working
nope,
on
nope,
busting,
yep. I was
wasn't
just
he?
trying to drive straight and not look, and just go and thinking, oh, we're gonna have worship tonight, that's gonna get me through,
Mhm.
worship at midnight, at the lighthouse. So that is what got me through. And I want to
Didn't that
thank
just
you
put
for
armor on you?
thinking of that, because
That just put the whole suit of armor on.
yes,
Because I
yes.
called Leon and we literally had an NA meeting earlier that day before worship. And
Mhm.
I had to, because my mom wanted to go to the casino for the midnight drawing. And I knew I was itching for a beer. That's exactly how I
Mhm.
was. And I was like, pacing the floor, like, Leon, can I have a beer? I can have a beer, right? I can handle a beer. And I was like, no. My inner voice was like, you can't, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I can. You get, you're good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Those meetings help.
that's what helped, was coming and just worship through the night, and
Yeah.
went home nice and tired and no urges,
And you live through the next day without a hangover.
Yes.
No relapse, no guilt, no
Yes.
shame,
Oh,
no giving
'cause
up.
I don't ever want to go back, because I don't want to go back to being that person I was. I don't like that person I was.
Mm-mm.
So yes.
But I know in those, like when Derek was talking about like the stressful days, oh,
Mhm.
those ass kicking days that come,
Mhm.
and they affect everybody. They hit all of us, every single one of us. Some people can carry or hide it a little bit better. I want to know their secrets. We need one of those perfect people out here so I can ask them. But as far as like for you, what do you do when the day is just tough like that for that moment?
Pray,
Yeah.
and just look at my little one and see her and
Watch them
see.
interact, huh?
Yes.
Just watch them do things and think,
Yes.
if I do this, I won't be here right now to watch that. Or
Yes.
you really have to put things in perspective. But I do like how you said like the longer you're sober. So like the longer your sobriety is, then the urges go away. Okay, so I do agree with that one. And then I also think a little bit that the more bad days that add up, that temptation gets stronger. I do. That's the one where I just punch in the face. Or just like seriously, if I have to get down and pray on my knees, I will do that because
Mhm.
whoo, that fight is hard.
Yes.
Like it's almost, and it is seriously. I do think in those really moments that it's like spiritual warfare. I do believe that there was something heavy, like just all the way around me, and it's just
Mhm.
little of me to get through that, and then to just I can't do it alone. I mean, that is proof
Yes.
that I cannot do it alone, that you have to get down on your knees and pray. Call a
Mhm.
friend, have them pray with you. Call two of
Yes.
them, it's even better.
Yes. Yes.
to get out of that moment, because it's just those are true moments.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
and some days are just heavy, but you're never alone.
Mhm.
You are not alone.
Yes.
We're here for
Yes.
you, man.
Yes.
We got your back.
Yes. Yep.
I was so nervous on how
Rides
tonight
or
was even gonna
anything,
go.
you can hit us up for rides for NA or whatever.
Right.
We're always willing to help
Yeah.
anybody. Don't be scared.
If there's any of you curious about church, because that's how I was, I didn't know who to ask. And it was such an embarrassing question for me because I'm a grown woman, right? Well, I can say honestly, I've become more of a woman, or what would I say? More of a genuine woman, I guess, now that I found God. Because before I was just like surviving and existing because I was a mother with like, I needed my backbone. I needed my roots, which go to like God and my parents, and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, oh, I'm in this alone and I got to do this and I got to do that. Well, no, you don't. If you know that God has your back
Mhm.
and like he's gonna fight and take care of all of that for you. Like
Mhm.
you can let go of the wheel. Like it's so cool to let go of the wheel.
Yes. Yes.
and trust somebody.
Yes.
Trust your faith. But if you're anything like me like that, come to church with even give us a call. Like if you
Yes.
want us to give you a ride,
Yes.
I'll give you a ride.
Yes.
I'll hide you in the back with me. We'll be in
Yes.
the dark.
Yes.
We can be in the
Lighthouse.
corner. Yeah.
Lighthouse, 10:30 a.m. every Sunday.
Yes.
And, oh, you know what? And it's exciting because we're planning on starting Bible studies
Oh, nice.
on Tuesday. Oh, you weren't at prayer last night, were you? We're starting Tuesday night Bible studies at 7 p.m. Right? Scott's in the building, so
Oh,
I think we
yay.
came to that conclusion that we're going to be starting Tuesday night Bible studies at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. So
Wow. Nice. See,
Yes.
there's another thing. So just to refresh all you guys' memories, Monday will be an NA at Chunkutecha. So Tuesday will be Bible study here at the Lighthouse at 7.
mhm.
Wait, what's Wednesday?
Well, we have youth group on. So if we're talking what's going on at the church, so
Okay.
if you want to do stuff if you want to come and hang out at the Lighthouse, and see all these rock stars here, on Monday nights, we do the Recovery Warrior Family Show, the first Monday of every month, which is next Monday. We have a tentative
right.
guest right now. Yeah, we have Recovery Warrior Family Show coming up next Monday. But on Tuesdays we do young adult group is on Tuesdays, along with our open Bible study to whoever wants to join that. We'll be doing that in the back room there. Wednesdays is youth group. Thursday nights is prayer. AANA, and then Friday nights is
Yours truly.
here we are,
Here we
Recovery
are.
Warrior. So
Live. So even that, like if you're interested about church, let us know. And then Bible study. So I am really ashamed to say that I don't read my Bible as much as I should. But that Bible study, it does help. I mean, it puts a
does.
lot of understanding. So I'm one of those ones, I don't understand what I read. Like I have a hard time understanding what I read. Well, if any of you have ever read the Bible and it's the way that you read that, it just doesn't make no sense either. There are people here that will do the Bible study verse or scripture and then break it down, understand, and then help you understand and explain the whole story. So it's not just one scripture part that you have to try to figure out by yourself. Like they'll break the whole thing down for you so you can have a whole better understanding. And it's way cooler. You do still have to read the Bible when it comes, but I mean, Bible study is something, just a learning experience. I mean,
Mhm.
you really don't have to put labels on them. Just come for yourself.
Yes.
Come for yourself. Come
Yes.
try it.
Yes.
Just come try it.
I mean, and those of you that know me when I was in my addiction, and to see me now, God is good.
Really bowing down. Yes, he is good.
Yeah.
If he can do this for us,
hmm
he can do this for you.
Yes.
Every single one of you.
Amen.
All of
Yep.
you. And believe me, we're waiting.
Yes.
He's waiting and we're waiting and we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But I encourage any of you, any of you watching, any of you who just need somebody to talk to, maybe you just need a time to hang out. Most of us, we just need support.
Mhm.
We need somebody to help us guide through life, or somebody to listen to us. Most times it's just in support in a lot of ways, and we're here for you. So I always just want to encourage that. I'm sorry, just hit the mic thing, but yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know what time it is. So you got 10 minutes to tell me your whole story to glory. Just kidding. From dope to hope. Let's hear it.
That's a good way to put it. No, really reading the Bible though, that really helped. With my mindset, like I said, I was like thinking things that, like, oh, people are gonna be call the cops on me, and I'd be peeking out my windows, just high and just paranoid, and
Right.
and still having that paranoia and that anxiety and just all of that. Reading the Bible and going to church, it helped, straighten out my mind,
Right.
from all those terrors. I mean, I had terrors too,
Mhm.
just from all of that, and reading the Bible, it just start, putting everything into perspective and just straightening out my walk, and just, yeah, it's amazing what the Bible can do for you. It is. Just give it a chance, and it'll
Right.
help you. It's what helped me, and it's not going to be overnight. The process
Mm-mm.
isn't overnight, but if you want it, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there if you want it.
Opportunity. Like,
Mhm.
just like anything, the
Yeah.
opportunity lies right there.
Yeah.
And, and I don't want to, and I apologize if I do this. I'm just so happy in sobriety. I'm just so thankful that I don't want to glamorize it so much that I make it look so easy to do, because it is tough. Like, to fight against that addiction every single day, and it's a tough battle because of that 2%. I mean, I can't even emphasize enough what that two, and we all know what that means, right? And those of you who don't, that's the recovery rate. The turnaround rate for methamphetamine alone, nationwide is only a 2%. And so, like, those of you watching, I know you want to. So with your help, we could change that number
Yes.
with everybody here, and I have hope. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to give up on you. I'm never going to give
Yes.
up on us,
Yeah.
and it really
Mhm.
doesn't matter how bad my day gets. I will
Mhm.
never turn around to the dark. I mean, I won't say never. I will choose every day to fight against the dark,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah, I just go from there with that. But
Yes.
Rhianah, I have a question for you. In those times that did you have any like times that you, and you may have explained it already, but just to kind of go back, did you have times that you backslid? And how did you, like, what did you carry at those times when you backslid, and how did you come to a place, if you did come to a place where you got back on the right track?
Well, praise God, I have not backslid. Once I was in, I was in, man, God just took over my life, and it was amazing, and I would never have it any other way.
Wow. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
never did backslide. There was times where, it got rough and I felt like giving up, and
Yeah.
felt like, just backing off or not going to church, or, but man, I broke through. I came to church and left just feeling amazing every time, because there are times where you want to, the devil will try to get you and try to make you think, oh, you don't need church,
just stay
or you
home,
don't
stay
need,
on the couch, or finish watching that show
Yeah. So
instead of going to church.
yeah,
But you get something out of it every time.
Yes. Yes. Every time. And
You get
it's
exactly
been,
what you need out of it,
Yes.
actually.
and I've been a born again believer for about 4.5 years. And and I haven't backslid or anything. And yeah, I just can't imagine my life without God, because like I said earlier, I don't like who I was before.
Yeah.
I never want to go back to that,
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions that I know that have been asked previously in like other shows, and it kind of always stuck with me because I just always thought they were kind of really couple cool questions. So, for you, when you were at 27 and you were at that party and everybody else, they were trying to get you to influence you to get, what would you say to your 27-year-old self now?
Yeah. Don't do it. Because just that one time, that's all it takes. It's all it takes to get hooked is one time.
Right.
That meth, it is a very powerful thing. So, just don't even mess with it. If, who cares what anybody says or thinks, or,
Right.
whatever. And you don't have to be the cool person, or
It's not even cool to be the cool
yeah,
person.
or think
It's
you're
really not.
cool to do it, or whatever,
Right.
especially you young ones. You got so much potential in you,
And power
yes,
and strength and ability and
yes,
everything.
yes, yeah,
And to waste it on drugs. Like,
Mhm.
please don't. Come hang out with us.
Yes, yes. And there's youth groups here also.
Yes,
And
there
so,
is.
you know,
I think on Sundays, isn't there like a children's Bible study before church?
There's an adult Bible study and a children's Bible study before church on
So
Sundays.
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. And one of those other questions, Rhianah, was how did they say it? Gosh. It was with recovery, what are some things that you have achieved that you would have never done before? Or in sobriety, what are things that you have achieved for yourself?
Well, for myself, I guess just having a better relationship with my kids,
Mhm.
you know, all of that. Working and holding down a
Holding
job.
a job, right?
Yes, yes. Being able to be a light for others, and you know, just this
Right.
beautiful walk that God has set me on. You know, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. I know it wasn't even my show, so I wasn't able to answer that cool question right there. I always ask other people because I think it is fascinating. I think those are really couple good questions. For myself, that one, what would are with sobriety, what have you achieved? Mine would have been a driver's license. I probably shouldn't be saying this on here, but I never, for 38 years, I've never had a driver's license due to drugs and just like unworthiness and not giving a crap. And I don't know, but I've just never ever had one. And that's one thing that I'm really proud of. Like, even just getting that, like, so I know that there are plenty more of like that mindset that I'll even help you do that. Like, I will help you study your driver's license. Like, I seriously will, because when I got it, I was just so happy, even though my face took the whole picture. But I was so happy. I was just like showing everybody, man, like, look at this. I did it. But it was seriously something that I accomplished. I never thought that I was going to do. Like, I remember when I was in trouble and the judge is like, I'm taking your drive. Go ahead. You know, I was like, and it didn't even matter to me. And then now I'm just like, don't let her say that to me now. I really got this.
I really love seeing her transformation from, you know, since she's got her relationship with God. I mean, she's just so, look at her. She's just so.
This supposed to be her show, dang it. But this is how beautiful it is, because we could sit and visit and, you know, just genuinely care about each other and be able to conversate and be able to remember and go back and forth and share and all this stuff, opposed to like if we were drinking, because I drank with Rhianah before. Yeah, I arm wrestled her many times. She beat me, but I remember drinking with her. And
I cannot see. Honestly, I can't see you guys doing that.
I was like, whoa. Like, I think your arms are bigger than your brother's, man. Like,
oh, goodness.
You know, and I remember sitting with Rhianah and like we seriously, we sat at a table like this and partied. I would pick this over that party any day of the week, man. Because this time I'll remember. But
we thought we were having fun then, but this is the real fun.
And there's no after effect.
Wow,
there's no side effects to this. Really none. I mean, besides the growth of love. Like,
can I, and you know what? And let me share, you know what? Your family is so happy with you guys like this. You know what I mean? As a family member, they know, they're like, man, look at mom, look at, you know, auntie, whatever relation, sister, whatever. And we know they're doing good. And like, it's such a beautiful feeling, isn't it? Just full circle, you know, just such a full circle thing. It's beautiful.
It
really
is
beautiful.
My brother Hank shared something with me on Facebook, and it melted my heart just to have one of your family members out of nowhere. And I can't remember, it was addiction. You giving up everything for addiction, and in recovery, or if I'm saying that right, in recovery, you're giving up everything for yourself or something like that. I cannot remember for recovery. Or anyhow, I would have to go to my phone and look at it, but like reading it, giving up one thing for everything or something like that. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Hank, but it just that support and all of that. It means so much. And, you know, I was at the L Shrine Circus, and I even had somebody, like, I'm not going to say names, but worked within like the jail and had seen me be the SK, you know, in and out of jail, just drugs and alcohol charges, all these things, you know. And believe it or not, there are people in the system that do see your potential, that do know that's not even really you, and hopes one day that you will get your head out of your ass, you know. Anyhow, so there was this guy, and he was like, he made a point to say hi to me, and I was like, oh, hi. And I was kind of embarrassed because he was a jailer, or he was like a dispatcher or something. And that's the only way I would have ever known him, you know? And I was like, hi, like, geez, the first person that I come here, it's like the jailers. And I think he's retired, but I was just like, what the? But I wasn't that obvious. I was nice. I was like, oh, hi, you know. But what was truly awesome was during intermission, like we went back in to get some more snacks and use the restroom. And I was coming back from the restroom, and I had my little one, so I wasn't really looking up. But halfway through my walk back, he met me. He came out of the concession stands and was standing there, like waiting for me to come. And he just had the biggest hug. And he said, Rosina, I just want to give you a big hug, and I want to tell you that I'm so proud of you. And you were a good kid. He said, and then you went sideways. And he said, and now you're back. And I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. And he gave me a hug, and I was just like, like a bait, like, thank you, you know. And it was just awesome, you know, because at first I was like, you know, it was really nice. But you think people in the system, like cops or, you know, jail or prisons or whatever, POs. I remember I'm what is that called? Traumatized by parole officers, because one of the coolest people I know now I thought was a parole officer, but and you know who you are. And but it's just those people that come in and they kind of have a badge or something. You just kind of like it. Just, you know, if you're in trouble and you were SK like I was, it just kind of shrinks you in your seat. But really, they do see the potential in you, and it's kind of cool to be on this side now and them to come up, and it just brings tears to your eyes. Just something I wanted to share, but it is really awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for sharing that with me, because it must be like people can see it, and recovery is beautiful, and you guys deserve it. And I want you here. So if any of you are interested to come sit with me on Friday nights, please get a hold of me or Leon or Derek or Scott, whoever. If you need help, reach out.
I'd like to ask Rhianah a question. I know we're coming to our hour here. But before I do, I want to make sure and encourage everyone, please, make sure and share our videos, even if they've already tuned, please share them.
Yes. Please.
Follow our page, follow the Recovery Warrior page. You guys can always follow Leon or Zena, whatever you need to do to have some type of outreach, and even our Lighthouse Church page, you're always more than willing to follow that and reach out to us there. But please, follow those pages. We're also on YouTube for those that don't have YouTube, or you want to watch it on your TV. You can watch it on a Roku stick, on your computer, whatever. If you don't have Facebook, or, you do have Facebook, but you want to watch it in your living room or something, and please, you have that access on YouTube. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure and get that out there. But Rhianah, I want to know if you were to encourage people, because I have heard you encourage people, what would you encourage if you were to take up this last, couple minutes or whatever it is before Zena closes us out? What would it be? What would you like to tell people or those who are in addiction?
If you are still struggling, just know that you are loved. We love you here, and we want to help, in any way that we can. God loves you most importantly, but, there is hope, there's life after addiction, and it really is beautiful. It really is. It is. So I encourage you to reach out to any one of us, or even whatever church you go to also, reach out. Don't be afraid to, because we've lost people from addiction,
Way too many people.
Yes. And we don't want to see that happen to you. So don't ever be scared. Don't ever feel like, you're unworthy, or you're, not good enough, or whatever. Yeah, or nobody cares.
We do.
We do. We do. And we love you. Jesus loves you. And, there is hope.
And you're always welcome.
Yes.
Here at the Lighthouse.
Yes. Come as you are.
On Thursdays, you're welcome. On Fridays, you're welcome. On Sundays, you're welcome.
Yes. Yes.
There's just different things here, so you're just always welcome. But
Mhm.
yes, thank you all for tuning in. I don't
Yes.
know, Derek, do you know of anything that I need to share?
No, I'll put a plug for the show next Monday.
Okay.
We have the Recovery Warrior Family Show that'll be next Monday. Please tune in. It'll be next Monday evening. We encourage you folks, please come to church. You'll get to see Rhianah, you'll get to see Kim, you'll get to see Zena, Leon, Scott. These guys are always talking about. Maybe even get to see Scott.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's an all right guy. He's all right. No, we all love Scott.
She's like, eh.
and we just really appreciate just everything here. Don't forget, if you're interested in sponsoring, please talk to Leon or I. We don't really plug it too much. We do have hopes of getting some gear in the future that people can purchase and get their hands on. And if you're interested in being a guest on the show, please, reach out to Zena, reach out to Leon, reach out to myself, or our Recovery Warrior page. We'd love to have you on there. And again, share the page, because it's not about getting exposure for us, but it's about sharing hope with you all. Ultimately, in the end, that's what it is. The more people that are just because someone's using doesn't mean they're not on their phone, watching YouTube or watching Facebook. They need to hear this. They need to know that, guess what, there is, like you guys said, there's some hope. And also for me as a family member, it's encouraging, always encouraging to me to see this, because it's like, thank God, I know my family members that are going through it. There's hope.
Right.
There's hope.
Yes. And one thing I do want to, Derek, before you turn your mic off, so anybody that's watching, I mean, even if you've experienced addiction and then maybe you moved away, so you moved to like Florida or something, I don't know, but and you would still like to be a part of the show, basically all they would have to do is just plug in, right? So we could do like and not necessarily a Zoom, but like we could still plug in.
We again, like we've had people from Kansas. We had someone on, Mitchell. We had someone on. So we have had people who are in, in locations far from us. And then at some point, we might even start doing some traveling. Leon, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He's like, yeah, he messaged me and he's like, hey, we're going to go to,
I didn't hear Leon and Zena.
Yeah. Well, he told me like one day, he's like, hey, we're going to Crow Creek. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Whatever.
It's awesome. I think this really needs to be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and the goal would be
wait till you see this on our van. Just kidding.
And you know what? I think a big goal of it is, how do we encourage people for them to start something? It's like, we would love to start seeing people to then have their own, maybe not necessarily recovery warrior, if that's but something along those lines, because there's, and that's another thing that I would like to mention. There's a lot of good programs out there doing good things. You have Wash Clean Ministries in Sioux Falls. There's a buddy of mine, I think it's called Hope 517 in Iowa. There's Brother Brandon in North Dakota. There's just a lot of amazing places doing amazing things, trying to help those folks who are going through recovery. And so I'm honored to be part of a team that
so it just needs to be a recovery day where all of us all link up, all these cool organizations. It would just be awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no,
don't be discouraged. You don't have to be here live in person. You can link up with us from wherever you are.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
So, yeah, if you're interested, please get a hold of us. Thank you all for tuning in. I know that there's other things you could have been doing. I hope that this has put hope in your heart, and I just hope to hear from you. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you all. Sorry we went over an hour.
Thank you, Rhianah. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Of course.
Wonderful.
And come back again.